Everybody, this is Margaret Schlechter. This morning we had a chance to sit down with both Sam Abbott from Savage Race and Cadre Mickey Banks from GORUCK to talk about the new Savage Race GORUCK partnership for the uh, GORUCK that'll be happening May 5th at the Maryland Savage Race event. So, what follows is the recording of the call we had earlier today. So, a few technical issues along the way, but this is the call that we had today. For those looking for more information about the Savage Ruck, Savage Race, GORUCK, enjoy our conversation. Sam Abbott from Savage Race, kind of tell us what Savage Race is. If maybe somebody's in a country where you guys don't go to yet, so give us a brief overview.
Sure, and Margaret, thanks a lot for having us both on. Savage Race is an obstacle course race series we started in 2011. I think we've done 65 plus events to date. And Savage Race really started as our primary product. We're a 5 to 7 mile obstacle course race series. This year, we're experimenting with some new stuff. We have a 3-mile version of Savage Race called Savage Blitz that has a lot of the same great Savage Race obstacles on a 3-mile course. We still have the full Savage Race, which is a 5 to 7 mile course, typically more on the 7-mile side. And now we're another experimental event that we're doing that we're talking about here today is the partnership that we have with GORUCK. We have one scheduled in Maryland, and this is and I'm going to let Mickey talk about what a GORUCK is in a minute, but GORUCK it's going to go from 9 p.m. at night after the Savage Race and finish up around 9 a.m. in the morning, right before that Savage Blitz takes off. So this is sort of a all-night rucking experience for those of you brave enough to sign up for it. But yeah, so Savage Race is what we do that makes us stand out from other obstacle course races. We absolutely build the best obstacles in the business. We have a lot of permanent structures, and so things like obstacles like Colossus, we're able to build those permanently on location, whereas our competitors are not doing that. So that's one of the ways we stand out. We have the bigger and better obstacles, and another differentiator we have, and I feel like GORUCK really shares this value with us, is we really build our experience out around the customer. It's absolutely customer focused, and customer comes first, and then we build out our operation around that. And so those are the two things that make Savage Race special. And I'm learning also, about the customer focus that GORUCK has. That's one of the things that makes their organization special as well.
Awesome. Well, Cadre Mickey Banks is with us from GORUCK. So, Mickey, can you kind of tell us what GORUCK is all about? And you guys have been around forever, as we talked about before we got going. I actually did a GORUCK back in 2011. But if you could kind of, for people that are unfamiliar, maybe they've heard about it, but they don't really know what happens, can you kind of give us an idea of what goes into a GORUCK?
Yeah. So I'll talk about our GORUCK Tough. It's our 12-hour event. That's kind of that's the event that we're going to be running in a few weeks. It's a 12-hour overnight event that really emphasizes teamwork, communication, and leadership. We teach those things in stressful settings with a group of people that most of the time do not know each other, and we put them through this similar training that we went through as cadre when we were coming up through our various backgrounds. All our cadre come from some sort of special forces from all branches of the military, and we use our experiences to put our participants through challenges and events that mold them into a team throughout the night, but also it allows our participants to kind of discover that they're capable of a lot more than what they give themselves credit for. And we have a motto: we're building better Americans. Well, that's kind of changing now that we're doing more international events. We're building better humans. But it's an awesome thing to take a group of people that don't know each other and probably a little bit nervous about what's going to go on, and then by the 12 hours later, I have one strong team full of individuals that their confidence in themselves and their team is just skyrocketed. So that's kind of our goal throughout the event.
Awesome. And I mean, for people that are listening to this and they're thinking, wow, that sounds similar to other events that are out there, that are also, 12-hour or overnight, or kind of these, as I like to call them, kind of these extreme endurance events that aren't really races, but they're team based. How is GORUCK different?
Go, GORUCK's different just because of the cadre. I know there's other events out there that are put on by other members of the Special Forces community, but I think just our cadre are some of the best in the world, some of the most professional. And given the variety of military backgrounds that we have working for us, no event is exactly the same. I'm sure, as you know, you've done an event. If you did an event this weekend, it would be very, very different from the one you did in New York, back in 2011. So the constant change, the unknown is something that we keep in all our events as we go forward.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, and so I guess my question is, like, how did this partnership come together? Maybe Sam, you wanna take this one, but how did this partnership between the two of you guys sort of come together?
Yeah. So, I had heard of GORUCK before, and I kind of knew that, I saw people at our events had GORUCK t-shirts on and they carried backpacks. That's about all I knew. And anyway, so I sat down. I actually had lunch with a friend of mine here in Gainesville, Florida, where we have our Savage Race headquarters, and he was talking about GORUCK and how passionate he was about it. The guy just seemed, and he reminded me of, some of the crazy people that have adopted obstacle course racing as their lifestyle. I mean, this guy was, and Margaret, you know what I mean by that, like the people in the obstacle racing community and all the Facebook groups, like one of those types of people that are, living it and breathing it every day. He seemed like that, but he was talking about GORUCK. And so I was curious, and I asked him more about it. And, he would tell me, when he sees someone in an airport with wearing a GORUCK bag, one of their rucks, he would go up and talk to them because they shared that sense of community. And I sort of thought, well, it might be like if someone's wearing a Savage Race shirt, people will talk to each other. They recognize that. So I was really curious about it. And so I said, you know what, I'm just going to see what happens, see if I can guess Jason McCarthy's email address and if they'll respond to me. So I sent Jason, I think I guessed what his email address, I think that's what I did. I guessed what his email address might have been, or I sent him something on LinkedIn. And he responded and just said, yeah, let's set up, like a 15-minute call. And this was 2 weeks ago. And our call ended up lasting 2 hours. And 2 days, I think it was 2 days later, we had this event launched. I just think we both kind of clicked, and we felt like there was a lot of synergies between the brands. We had a lot of the same feelings towards customers, and just seemed like a cool, fun thing to do. So that's how it started. And then Jason sent me I'm gonna hold it up here. I don't know if you're gonna actually publish this video, but so I got my GR1 bag here, or sorry, I can't call it a bag. I got my GR1 Ruck, and by the way, I signed up for their easier event, the GORUCK Light. It's at the end of the month, so I'm doing one. Lloyd's doing it with me, my co-founder. I think we have like 2 weeks to go, and I've been putting in about 25 miles a week so far, and slowly working the weight up. So, I'm probably not going to be ready, but I don't care. I'm going for it because I want to have at least one of these under my belt before we do we host the GORUCK Tough at Savage Race, Maryland.
Awesome. Well, and Mickey, maybe you can talk to how you guys are on the GORUCK side are going to try to incorporate possibly. I mean, you can't really give anything away, but I would imagine since it's going to be at a Savage Race event, and I know from the press release we put out, you're going to try to include some of the obstacles, or maybe include them in a different way, or do something to sort of synergize both the brands. So can you give us kind of any of a hint, or like a preview of what people that are signing up might expect on this overnight GORUCK at Savage Race?
Yeah, totally. Without giving away too much information, I will say that, if you look at obstacle courses in any branch of the military, we have them. We all go through them. And I can say through personal experience, going through an obstacle course by yourself is difficult. When you throw in going together or going through as a team while moving, mission essential gear or sandbags or anything like that, the difficulty level increases significantly, and it's really going to drive home some important lessons about teamwork and communication. So having the obstacle course there at the Cadre's disposal is awesome. I won't be running the event. JC will, Cadre JC. He's another recon Marine, and I'm sure he's just chomping at the bit to get that class on that obstacle course and really drive home what we want them to learn.
Awesome. And
and JC came to Savage Race, Georgia, and I had the opportunity to meet with him, and we rode around the course together, inspecting the obstacles so that he could kind of get a preview of what our course. He had never been to a Savage Race before, so he wanted to come get a preview and scout out the situation. So that was 2 weekends ago, and I think he was telling me some of the things. I'm not going to share everything, but he has some cool ideas of what to do with some of these obstacles. So I'm excited to see it.
Awesome. And I know that this is like, everybody loves it, and those patches that you get at GORUCK are legendary, that like you are like earning a patch at the end of whether it's a GORUCK Tough, a light, heavy, whatever. And from what you sent, it's kind of a special Savage Race GORUCK, and it looks like you guys it's gonna be class 001. So for those that are kind of like GORUCK aficionados, or just really like swag, that sort of thing, like what are the participants gonna like something from that point of view?
There'll be a patch as always, and from what I understand, it's going to be a custom patch. And the first, class 001 always has that's one of the patches. I mean, if you look at the GORUCK Nasty selection, 001 patches are always a pretty important item, pretty rare in the GORUCK community. So definitely, if they can make it, this will be an awesome patch to have. It'll be something to brag about for a long time.
Yeah, we actually have the patch design. The patch design's out there. It was if you go to like the GORUCK event page, or if you go to the event page on Savage Race's website, I'll put it on there. But it's really cool. It has the GORUCK logo, which I guess is an arrowhead, and then it has our logo superimposed over it, and it has class 001. And it's in Savage Race colors. It looks really awesome.
So I think it looks awesome, and I know that it's in the press release that we put out as well, and we'll put a link on our website with this when this video is on the website. But for someone, I know this is kind of like your test. This is your test event right now to see how this partnership will work. But are you, maybe this is for Sam, are you and Jason in talks about trying to do this at more Savage Race events throughout the year, or kind of see how this one goes, and then have another announcement for us hopefully afterwards?
Yeah, it's totally an experimental event. I mean, I'm still just as enthusiastic about it as I was when we first had the conversation. So, and also on sort of a personal level, I'm really getting into the GORUCK experience. I mean, I'm really genuinely enjoying commuting to work and back with the GORUCK pack on my back. I mean, I like it. So I can see why people get into it. And I mean, I don't necessarily think this is going to be for everyone, and I don't know if it's going to be something that gets really big, or if it's just going to be kind of a niche thing that we do from time to time. But either way, like, I view it as a win, and I think that the people who do it in Maryland are going a remarkable experience. I hope that we keep doing it. I mean, that's my hope. But you know, we like to kind of grow, do one step at a time. I don't want to say, yeah, we're going to roll this out to every location next year or anything like that at this point. I want to do one in Maryland, and then I'm sure Jason and I will have a conversation after that and decide where we go from here. But so far, I'm super excited.
Awesome. And so what right now is the best way for people if they're listening, they're going to be in Maryland, they think, wow, like I want to add this to my Maryland experience. I guess first question, Mickey, do they have to have a GR1 pack to do a GORUCK?
No, we don't require that you have a GORUCK bag. We highly suggest it because, you know, other bags don't always hold up to the event. I've seen a lot of destroyed rucks that aren't GORUCK bags, but you don't. It's not necessary at all.
And I guess the second question for you is that if somebody, you know, it's coming up pretty quickly, but if you were to give anybody advice, they want to sign up for it, they've never done a GORUCK before, is there anything other than like Sam's doing, walking to work with his ruck, is there anything that you would suggest people maybe get proficient at, or at least know what it is before they do a GORUCK?
Actually, Sam and I were kind of talking about this earlier. Definitely get weight on your back and get some miles under your feet. On top of that, I would practice doing, you know, your basic calisthenics with that ruck on. The ruck on your back, you know, by the end of the event, you're not even going to notice the ruck on there anymore. Well, you'll notice it because your freaking shoulders and back will hurt, but that should be the last thing on your mind. You're going to have so much other things going on, and that the ruck to just kind of become part of you. So the more exercises you do with that ruck, the more time you have with that ruck on your back, the better you'll do during the event.
Perfect.
Yeah, and Margaret, there's some urgency here too, because we only have 100 slots, and I'm not sure how many have been sold so far, but there's only 100 slots for this, and once those are sold, it'll be closed out. And you know, for folks who are interested in this and have never done it, they should jump on it pretty fast, because just like Mickey said, they're going to want to have time under the ruck prior to the event. I mean, I don't think you want the event to be the first time you try this. And
No.
Also, there's other gear requirements. You know, I'm like, if you go to savagerace.com, go to locations page and find this event, it'll actually it'll redirect you to GORUCK's website where the registration takes place, and they have a whole list of gear requirements. So, I mean, I won't go through all of them, but you need to have a good rucksack. You need to have weights, and they recommend a ruck plate or an equivalent, and it's based on what your body weight for how much you need to carry, either 20 or 30 pounds. They recommend a hydration bladder and some reflective bands. There's a whole list of things that a lot of this stuff people might already have, but several of them in general, you probably have to buy some of this stuff if you want to participate and you haven't done one before. So definitely check out their website. It has everything listed, and I've been going through the process since I'm signed up for the Gainesville GORUCK Light the weekend before this Maryland event. So I've been stocking up with a lot of this gear and getting time under the rucksack, as they say, this week and as we approach the event. It's so fun too. It's like, who would have thought that this would be? Yeah, rucking is one of those things that until you've done it and experienced it, it just sounds like, oh, you mean you're just walking with a backpack? It's like, yeah, but do it and you know, go at a decent pace with some weight, and you'll see the benefits. I was telling Mickey right before the call, like, you know, I've been going to and from work, rucking on the days I'm not in the gym, and it's meditative too. It's like, just, you know, it gives you. I get an hour before and after work to really think about, you know, what I'm going to do that day or how I'm closing out that day. And I feel like it's really productive time, not only physically, like it's helping me get in great shape, but also mentally.
Yeah, I think that's great. And I think you already answered my last question, would be where you would find find the information to sign up, and so that's on GORUCK, and we'll put a link as well and all the notes for this too. So if you're watching online, the link will be either below you on YouTube, or if you're watching it like on the website, yeah, it'll still be below you. So you can check the link below you, and you can sign up. And again, there is only 100 spots. It's coming up pretty quickly over here on May 5th, and it'll be at the Savage Race Maryland event. So thank you guys both for taking the time this morning to talk about the partnership. And I'm really excited to see where it goes. And I know a lot of people are just excited to see the partnership come together with two great brands.
Yeah, one last thing I want to add. We have the Savage Syndicate, where if you do 2 Savage Race events in a year, you get the Syndicate medal, which is actually, I think I have one on my desk right here. So this big fancy spinning thing with the state pens, which look like this. So anyway, the reason I bring that up is because if you do this GORUCK Tough at Savage Race, that does qualify you for syndicate. So you could earn your syndicate in Maryland by doing, say you ran a Savage Race on Saturday morning and then you stayed up to do the Tough that night, then you would earn syndicate just like that. And that also brings up the point. There are some people who are planning on doing all 3 events that weekend. I feel like we should have a name for that or something. But I know there's several people who have signed up for Savage Race on Saturday morning, so they're going to get 7 miles in there. Then they're going to ruck all night with the Savage Race GORUCK Tough that evening. And then after the sun rises and they finish their GORUCK event, they're going to run the Savage Blitz, which is another 3 miles. So that's pretty awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah, that is awesome.
That's awesome. More power to them. And as I know on the GORUCK site, it says you might want to bring flip-flops because you'll be sore after it's all gone. And I would imagine maybe you should add to that underneath, like, you'll want a wheelchair or somebody to carry all of your stuff and wheel you back to your car. That's a lot to do.
I feel like we should do something for people who do that. Like, I don't know, maybe buy them some barbecue or something. I don't know. What do you do? What do you want after doing 3 events like that?
So I guess that's it. If you are gonna do all 3 and you have an idea of what should happen when you've done all 3, you email Sam and tell him what you want, or send him a Facebook message.
I mean, least I could do, right? Buy you some barbecue or pizza or something.
Yeah. Barbecue, donuts is a big one. Donuts is a huge one.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thanks so much. I appreciate you guys taking the time, and excited to see how the event goes.
All right. Thanks a lot, Margaret and Mickey.
Thank you.